Hi there, it's David John, the Resourceful Coach, and we're going to look at some resources today to look at your technique of your swing and how we can develop that. And for me is make sure you're getting as much power and efficiency from your swing. And for me it's very much around how the body works. Now there's so much emphasis nowadays on body rotation, but when I look at the real great ball strikers of the game, it's how efficient they are in getting the balance between their body and their arms and wrists and everything working together. So let's think a little bit about let's get in the body, the arms and the club in balance. That's what we want. And at the end of the day, when you hit a good golf shot, it's how the club delivers itself into the ball. And when you look at probably the greatest ball striker, when we look back at the history of the game, is a guy called Ben Hogan. And when I look at Ben Hogan's swing, I always think he sort of hits the ball with the center of his body and everything's in balance with that. And I think that's the great thing. And then when you sort of go through the great ball strikers, your Nicklases, your Faldos, your Woods, it seems to be a consistent thing. And there's so much emphasis now on how much rotation you get, how much body speed you get. And these guys had it. I'm not saying they didn't have it, but everything looked in balance. I think that's the important thing. So what we're going to talk a little bit about today is getting the balance with how we get very much the arms and the body working as a team. And what I found is that every level of golfer, if they can do this, and whatever age, whatever level you are, you find then if you can get this idea, you see a lot more consistency and a lot more efficiency to your shots. And it creates then a balance throughout the shot. That's the key thing, which makes it easy to get a center strike on the club face. So I'm going to hit a couple of different clubs here today. We're going to hit some 8 irons, and I'm going to go actually onto something a little bit longer, something like a hybrid. And the one thing I don't change, and this is why I feel my swing becomes repeatable, is I don't change the thought process of what I'm doing. So the big thing I look at is it's that sort of transition into the downswing. I think that's always for me. When I see somebody doing that correctly, they seem to hit better golf shots. Now most people will make a backswing where, if I just turn this way, we'll get back to a certain level. And a lot of you watch my videos and think, well, David's only doing about a 3/4, 7/8 swing. Yeah, I only swing back to here, and that's a combination of my age and I've got slight back issues, and that's where I go to. So once you've found your backswing position, and as long as it feels now, you can deliver the club back into the ball, it's getting that combination and feeling of how your arms connect to your hips and connect to your body. And that's what I see the great players do. So when I've looked at sort of footage of somebody like Ben Hogan, we see this now, and I'm seeing this a lot with a lot of the golfers out there like Bryson DeChambeau. The one thing they mention is the sensation that when they get here, their first movement is very much their arms are dropping. They're feeling their arms dropping in, and that gets a connection of their right elbow to the right hip. And that feels now, if I just turn my body, look how the club just automatically unwinds back towards where the ball would be. And what worries me a little bit is I see things online and that, and you see a lot of people and they're saying, right from the top, you got to explode your body. And all of a sudden now, the one thing then you lose is control of the golf club. Okay, and that becomes very, very difficult, because at the end of the day, it's only what the golf club tells the ball to do is the key thing. So if we now look at it more from this face-on angle, what I want to feel is that I've got that sensation of my arms dropping here. Now as my body turns, that's what brings the club back to the ball. I'm just going to hit a ball probably about 50, 60 yards. I've got an 8 iron in my hand here. But from there, can I get the connection there and turn through? And that ball's gone pretty straight because I've got a pretty orthodox grip. My stance is good. All my basic fundamentals, which we've gone through in other videos, are there. Okay. Now, it wasn't the perfect strike. And the reason being, I would say, because I did it a little bit disjointed, it didn't flow as I would like it to flow. But that's quite a good little drill to do. Just take a mid-iron like an 8 iron and not look to hit it very far. I mean, that ball's probably gone 70 yards. And just get the sensation that you are letting the arms drop. To me, I even feel as if my right elbow is tucking into my stomach, and now I just want to feel the hips turn. I just want to feel that rotation there, and that one I got the timing better because it flowed a bit more, and now we're up to nearly 100 yards. And I'm not trying to hit the ball. Okay? And that's the important thing. When you see these top players, they get this efficiency. That's the key word I want you to do, is feel that you're efficient, and the arms are dropping, the body is now turning, and now the two are connecting together, so you now have good feel of what you're doing with that golf club as you go through the ball. And it's that simple drill, nothing else more than that. We're not adding any more today. The idea is to sense that sensation as we go through the shot. So as I'm going to hit a couple more now with an 8-iron. I'm just going to let it flow, and then I'm going to hit a few shots with a hybrid just to watch that swing. Look at the tempo I'm hitting the ball. Okay, we learn more from watching people and doing things from copying than anything else. So from there, all I'm going to feel is my arms drop, connects to my body, hips turn. We'll just give you a feedback on how far that's gone. All right, it's playing a little bit uphill, but that ball's gone 110 yards. Again, not trying to hit it. Nice and comfortable. Hopefully it looks very, very easy on the camera. Now I know I can hit an 8-iron probably near 140. But what I want to do is I want to get this thing. This is my drill when I go to the practice ground just to warm up. I want to feel that arm drop connection, elbow to hip, and then it just feels like, I always think when people hit good shots, it looks like they hit it with their right hip. It's like their right hip is just turning through, lovely and balanced. If you go and watch Hogan on YouTube, look at his swing. Yeah, there's a lot more to it than what I'm doing here because he's an exceptional player. But you'll see the drop, and then it's the rotation through. He's not here. He's not forcing this. He doesn't want to be there. Look where the club is. Now we're in a terrible position. There's no way I can square that up. Yes, he'll look as if he keeps his angles a lot more here, but it is now the turn as he goes through into that position. So he will keep that wrist cock a little bit longer than I am, but he's Ben Hogan. He's a multi-major winner. I'm your average club pro. There. And through. And again, what I liked about the last two was the centre contact. So the ball's starting to go further, but I'm not trying to hit it any harder. Okay? So what we'll do, we'll look at it now. What we'll do, we might take a few shots from a down the line angle, and we're going to look at it now hitting some hybrid shots up the fairway, up the practice ground. Now the two clubs, I mean, we've already hit some 8-irons. The second club that I use is my hybrid. And the reason being is they're sort of clubs where I feel, for some reason in my swing, I can get a nice rhythm to what I'm doing. So I want to use this sensation that I get with these clubs, probably more regularly than any other clubs in my bag, and to be able to transfer that. If I'm hitting 8-irons, can I transfer that to say a 6 or a 5-iron? And with my hybrid in time, can I transfer that to my driver? But I want to keep that idea, the efficiency stays the same. I don't want to feel at any point that I'm rushing anything as we go through to hit the ball as we go through the shot. And that's really important, okay? So in my mind, the same impression is there. I'm getting to the top of my backswing here. My arms are dropping, and now it feels like the hips are rotating through the ball. That's the feeling in the shot that as I play through, that's what I'm looking to do. So we're just going up the practice ground. And again, first one, not really looking for any real power. Drop, connect, rotate. And through. Now I'm going to be honest there. I mean, it's the one thing I will be in my videos. Because my last thought was the hip rotation, it felt there, my hips went a little bit early. So that wasn't an efficient swing. For me, that felt like the body went, and then my arms and the club were lagging way too far behind. And the contact still went up the fairway reasonably, but it wasn't a good contact. It wasn't like the last two 8-irons that were lovely. Came right at the middle of the club. So let's see if we can find that rhythm of the 8-iron. Mentally, drop. The connection's there. Turn through the ball. Hit it as soft. You know the club's designed to hit it further. Let it. And that was a much better shot. So I kept that sort of feeling, that idea in my mind through the shot to get the desired result that I wanted. And now here's the fun bit. Do it again. That's the important thing. Find that sensation where you get that connection, you get that feeling that it is efficient, and feel that you can do it again and again and again. And that's the ultimate goal. That's what makes you a better player, knowing you can do it, then do it again. So all I'm feeling again, same thought, drop, the connection, let the hips turn. And for me, it's that soft drop first is the key thing. Good. Not quite as good as the one before. But what I'm finding is I'm always putting the ball nicely up the fairway. As long as I've aimed correctly, I've taken my grip correctly, then what's going to happen is as I'm going through the shot, I'm always going to deliver the club on a decent, consistent line. And that's what we're looking for. What I want to make sure you guys are doing, you're not standing over the ball and 1 minute it could be going there, could be going straight. There's that inefficiency of what you're doing. There's that frustration. It's so important that once you get an idea, and this for me, as I said, some of the great golfers do this over the years, use it in your game. And hopefully what you're seeing, it's not a big effort. There, drop, turn. Let's see if we can get the strike like we got on that second one. That was lovely. Really good. So if I walked up there and picked up the last 4 balls, which were all with my hybrid, 2 have got the exact result I want. The strike was lovely, the direction was good. I'd expect to get the distance that I was looking for from that club. The other 2 still went the direction. I probably lost maybe 5 to 10% of the distance because the strike wasn't perfect, but it's no disaster. So the difference between my good, which I'd take, let's say as a number that might have gone 200 yards, to my bad, it still went pretty straight 180 yards. So I'm going to be there or thereabouts. And that's what I want you to do with your golf swings, okay? It didn't matter I used an 8-iron, it didn't matter if I used a hybrid, it doesn't matter if I put a driver in my hand. The same sensation, I want that feeling there, and then the connection, it's turning through. Hopefully from this angle you can see I'm just rotating, and the club, because I'm in balance, the arms, the club, the body, they're all rotating together. As long as I've started in those good fundamentals, I'm going to come back to a decent position. So that's the swing today. We've talked about the idea of getting more efficiency, feeling that you're getting the body, the arms, the club, all working together as a team. And if you can do it, you're going to see a lot more consistency in your shots, and you'll start to see the efficiency of the distance that you expect to hit each club. Because you'll find a speed in time that feels the arms and the body will work together, and you know you can repeat it. So that will become your game. That will become your swing. That will become the results that you want. If as you develop confidence, you might gradually pick that speed up a little bit, but find a speed that you know you can do consistently, creating that feeling, and then develop it from there. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's very much going through what I feel in my swing and what I see with my lessons. When people do a good swing, it looks so balanced, it looks efficient, but it's that balance of the arms connecting to the body, smooth rotation of the body. When they come together, they start to see results. If you have enjoyed the video, please share it with your friends. Share this link on to your friends. Subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you soon.